Hey guys, here are some fun facts. The original concept for this movie was two people from the normal world being pulled into the Rapunzel story, with the female lead being a college student and the prince being a pizza guy. Look at this concept art! Hell yeah, Disney, throw one out for the less attractive people. I mean, Jack Black was considered for a voice of the prince. No joke here, we were robbed! Hey, what's going on guys? It's your BFF Snowy Oreo 663 here, right now. Tangled, our first 3D movie on this list. I'm surprised Disney did so well with this movie, considering their first attempt at a 3D movie. We all know how that one turned out. Anyway, I really do enjoy this movie, and I'm disappointed it kinda got smothered by Frozen. Rapunzel is my favorite old fairy tale, although if you don't read the original story, it might be a bit odd to know that Rapunzel loosely translates to lettuce. You'll have to suck it up and read the original, or I guess Google it. Although fair warning, it's not a pleasant story, especially the ending. It's kinda strange that all this movie really amounted to are some ultra-themed bathrooms in Disney World. Well, that's besides the point. We should really get into this movie already, so let's go! We open with the story of how this man, Flynn Rider, died. Because, you know, narration. Basically, you have to put on your logic-defying cap while we see a single drop of sunlight fall from the sky to sprout a magical flower that can heal anything. Okay. This old lady named Mother Gothel hoards the flower and uses it to keep herself young for hundreds of years, only having to sing a song to activate its powers. While that's going on, a kingdom is growing nearby, and fun fact, this kingdom is called Corona. Yeah. The queen is about to give birth, but she's getting very sick. This leads the soldiers to look for the magic flower. Mother Gothel gets too careless and her flower is discovered and given to the queen, resulting in a blonde-haired princess named Rapunzel being born. Welcome to the world, we named our daughter Lettuce. To celebrate the birth, the parents release lanterns. Gothel sneaks into the palace one night, finding the flower's magic is still active in the princess's hair. However, when she tries to cut it, it turns brown and loses its power. Having no other option, she kidnaps the child and raises her as her own, keeping her in a tower hidden in the forest, telling the girl that the world is full of evil people. Every year, the kingdom releases lanterns into the sky on Rapunzel's birthday, in hopes that their lost princess will return. Unknowing of the kingdom's activity, the young girl believes the lights may be meant for her. You know, I feel bad for the parents who were only 4 minutes late to this movie when it was showing in theaters, because that huge exposition dump would be completely missed. Many years later, we see 17-year-old Rapunzel, and yes, she admits in the film that she's turning 18 the next day. Got it. She's playing hide-and-seek with her pet chameleon named Pascal, although he seems more interested in going outside of the tower. Rapunzel sings a song called When Will My Life Begin about her daily routine inside the tower. She has a passion for painting and begins to paint the so-called floating lights and sing about her dream to see them in person. Meanwhile in the kingdom, some thieves are climbing around the castle in an attempt to steal the crown meant for the lost princess. These two f***ers are called the Stabbington Brothers, and this guy is Flynn Rider, who is... Anyway, he manages to get the crown, but stupidly admits his presence to the guards, but gets away just in time. At the tower, Rapunzel hears Mother Gothel arrive, and lets her hair down to allow her mother to ride to the top. Gothel likes to tease Rapunzel, but in all honesty, I don't see a problem with some of these jokes.
You know what I see? I see a strong, confident, beautiful young lady. Oh, look, you're here too.
No, can't be. I distinctly remember.
Your birthday was last year.
Rapunzel asks her mother to take her to the floating lights for her 18th birthday, to which Mother Gothel tells her that the lights are just stars, and she begins to sing Mother Knows Best, about how the world is dangerous, having thugs, the plague, and men with pointy teeth. Your cape should be on fire right now. After the song, Rapunzel chooses to stay in her tower where it's safe, and Gothel leaves. While running from some palace guards, so I guess they caught up, I don't know, Flynn critiques the presentation of his nose on a wanted poster, shoving the paper into his satchel as he continues running. The trio find an obstacle in the way, and Flynn climbs on the brothers and abandons them, nearly getting swarmed by palace guards. The captain rides a horse named Maximus, and this horse is very loyal to the kingdom, refusing to move when Flynn takes a seat on the saddle. The two fight over the satchel with some slapstick and what should be Flynn's death. Actually, I'm going to start a Flynn death count for how many times he should die in this movie. While Maximus sniffs for the thief, Flynn finds Rapunzel's tower. Yep, get that trailer shot. He climbs it and hides inside, finally feeling safe.
Alone at last.
Okay. So that's what the frying pans are all about.
Yep. And actually, probably should have killed him too. Those things are very heavy. She inspects him for pointy teeth, and then smacks him again when he opens his eyes. She spends a while getting him into a closet, eventually breaking his fingers. This poor guy. She finds a satchel and tries on the crown, before hiding it in her, chamber pot? When Gothel shows up. Rapunzel tries to tell her mother that she's strong enough to handle herself, when Gothel blows up, telling her that she'll never leave the tower. Rapunzel says how she was just meaning to tell her mother that she wanted some new paints for her birthday, instead of seeing the stars. And Mother Gothel agrees to take the 3-day-long trip. While she's gone, Rapunzel checks on her prisoner. You know, there are some ways that the nose could be broken that would be able to kill you, and even if not, I doubt Flynn would get appropriate medical care in time. That's probably a death, or a half-death. She ties him up with her hair, and Pascal wakes him up. He's confused by all the hair, and Rapunzel reveals herself to him, and he, kinda likey her. He tries flirting with her, but Rapunzel isn't really sure what flirting is. He asks where his satchel is, to which she tells him that he'll never find it.
It's in that pot, isn't it?
When he wakes up, she tells him that she re-hid it, and now he'll never find it. Rapunzel asks Flynn what he wants with her hair, and after he denies wanting it, she chooses to trust him. She shows him her painting and asks what the lights are. That might be another broken nose. So, another half-death. He tells her that they're the lanterns for the lost princess, and she offers him a deal. Take her to see the lanterns and return her home safely, and then she'll give him his satchel back. Flynn refuses at first, but after some talk and this...
Here comes the smolder. Fine, I'll take you to see the lanterns.
Really? Oops.
You broke my smolder.
Although she's hesitant, she eventually leaps out of her tower, touching grass for the first time and exploring her new environment. She sings a little ditty, then has an internal war with herself over continuing or going back with her mother. Trying to get his satchel back, Flynn plays into her insecurities, telling her how her mother would be crushed by her betrayal. She refuses to go back, then gets spooked by rustling in the bushes, climbing over her guide in the process. After finding out that it's just a rabbit, Flynn realizes how fragile she is, and offers to take her to a great place for some lunch. Back in the woods, Maximus spooks Mother Gothel on her way out, sending her fleeing back to the tower to check on Rapunzel. After revealing a secret entrance, she can't find her daughter anywhere, leading to her spotting the satchel under the stairs. She freaks out after seeing the crown, then discovers Flynn's wanted poster, grabbing a dagger before heading out. Flynn leads Rapunzel to the Snuggly Duckling restaurant, which happens to be filled to the brim with thugs and ruffians. Rapunzel panics, and Flynn tries leading her back to her tower, only for the thugs to recognize him from the wanted poster. One guy runs off to find some guards, while the rest fight over who will get the reward money. Rapunzel uses her hair to smack the hook-handed thug to get their attention, pleading with them to let Flynn go, saying that he's her only chance to see the lights and live out her dream. The lead thug stalks over to her, then begins to sing about his dream of being a concert pianist. The rest of the thugs join into the song called I've Got a Dream, where this guy wants to find love, this guy collects ceramic unicorns, and this guy is a mime, because of course. While Gothel watches from a window, the thugs force Flynn to sing about his dream to live peacefully on an island with a bunch of money. Yeah, I'm not a guy, but I really believe Flynn should be screaming in pain right now. I don't think men can typically do that. Anyway, the guards show up, and the thugs now decide to help Rapunzel and Flynn escape through a hidden passage. Maximus comes in and finds the passageway, and the soldiers head in, leaving this one guy to watch the Stabbington Brothers. That goes about as well as you'd expect. Gothel finds this fellow and threatens him with her dagger, demanding to know where the tunnel leads. Being chased by the guards, Flynn and Rapunzel end up at a dam where they're surrounded by people who want Flynn dead. Rapunzel uses her hair to swing to safety, leaving Flynn to fight off the guards with the frying pan. Maximus joins in the fight, successfully disarming the thief. Rapunzel saves him, although,
You should see your faces because you look ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest confirmed death so far. Maximus breaks the structures to the dam, and the two rush off towards a cave opening just as the area floods and rocks rain down upon them. The two realize they're trapped with no way out, and the water rushes in. Flynn can't see anything underneath and ends up cutting his hand when trying to move some rocks. Realizing that they're doomed, he opens up to Rapunzel, saying his real name, Eugene Fitzherbert. She also reveals her secret, that her hair glows when she sings. She begins to sing and the cave lights up, showing a possible exit. Look, Google says a person can generally hold their breath anywhere from 30 seconds to around 2 minutes, so we'll count this as another half-death, okay? I mean, he used a lot of effort to get out of there, so, you know, they're alive. This guy's invincible.
Her hair glows.
We're alive. alive!
I didn't see that coming.
Eugene?
The hair actually glows.
Eugene!
Why does her hair glow?
Eugene! It doesn't just glow.
Why is he smiling at me?
Mother Gothel finds the Stabbington Brothers, giving them the satchel. She offers them something worth 1,000 crowns, and the ability to get revenge on Flynn Rider. Meanwhile, Rapunzel wraps her hair around Eugene's injured hand, and then begins to sing, letting her magic work. When she's done, the hand is completely healed. While silently freaking out, Rapunzel tells Eugene about what happens when the hair is cut, and how her gift has to be protected, and how she doesn't know if she wants to go back. Eugene tells her about how he was an orphan who read a book to other kids, called The Tales of Flynn Rider. He was a rich person who could do whatever he wanted, and it caused Eugene to adopt the name. He asks her to keep it a secret, and she admits that she likes his real name better. As he walks off to get more firewood, Mother Gothel arrives, trying to take Rapunzel home. She refuses, saying how she thinks Eugene likes her. Gothel sings a reprise of Mother Knows Best, giving her daughter the satchel. She tells her to give it to him and watch him leave in an instant. She leaves, and Rapunzel hides the bag before Eugene comes back. The next morning, Maximus attacks Eugene, having Rapunzel interfere. And then the horse starts acting like a dog. Horses don't have any muscles in their tails. She asks Maximus not to arrest Eugene for 24 hours since it's her birthday today. The two agree not to fight, and Rapunzel starts walking over to the kingdom. That probably would have broken his ribs, another half-death. In the kingdom, Rapunzel's hair finally becomes a problem, and these little girls happily braid her hair and do it up with flowers. While wandering, Eugene buys Rapunzel a flag of the kingdom. She dances with the locals, eats cupcakes, and explores the library. She also sees a mural made for the lost princess. Shouldn't Eugene have figured out that she's the princess by now? She's the only blonde in the kingdom. This palace lights up the lanterns for her birthday, which the two share, and the whole kingdom knew about the magic golden healing flower thingy. The hell? While taking Rapunzel to a good viewing spot, Eugene gives Maximus some apples, and the pair park their boat in the waters outside the castle. Rapunzel admits she's scared, worried that if this is everything she ever dreamed of, what will she do next? Eugene tells her that she'll have to find a new dream. Aww. In the castle, the king and queen release the first lantern, signaling the kingdom to do the same. Rapunzel spots them floating, excitedly watching from the boat. A song plays called I See the Light, where she watches this beautiful display. Eugene offers her some lanterns of her own, and Rapunzel gives him the satchel back, saying she's not scared of him leaving anymore. Where was she keeping that this whole adventure? He pushes the bag away and the two release the lanterns and
all those days.
Oh my god, he's singing. He's singing, oh my god. What was that noise? Oh my god, I'm doing this all in one take and I just made a really... Oh, kill me. They get close to kissing when Eugene spots the Stabbington Brothers on the shoreline. He leaves her for a second to give the crown back to them, but they reject his offer, saying they want her instead. Back at the boat, the brothers swarm Rapunzel, showing her that Eugene has sailed off with the crown and left her behind. They try to kidnap her for her hair, thinking it will make them rich, and Rapunzel flees. But here's her mother calling for her. Mother Gothel had knocked out the brothers, pulling Rapunzel back to the tower, heartbroken. It's revealed that Eugene was knocked out and tied up, and he gets arrested while Maximus watches from a distance. In the morning, the guards come into Eugene's cell to get something over with. At her tower, Gothel removes the flowers from Rapunzel's hair and leaves her in the room, which leads Rapunzel to look over her flag from the kingdom. She begins to notice that she had been subtly painting the symbol into all of her paintings, and she remembers her crib from when she was a baby, as well as her real parents. Eugene is being led by the other prisoners, and he demands that the Stabbington Brothers tell him where they learned about Rapunzel's abilities. They tell him about the old lady, and he realizes that she is in trouble. Meanwhile, Rapunzel confronts Mother Gothel about her discovery, and Gothel says that Eugene won't be there for her, since he is going to be hanged for his crimes. Rapunzel refuses to let Gothel ever use her hair again, leading to a mirror shattering. In the kingdom, the soldiers are ambushed by the thugs from the Snuggly Duckling, helping Eugene escape. No joke, this line made my mother burst out laughing when we were watching it.
What's this? Open up!
What's the password?
They fling Eugene all the way onto Maximus, which, yeah, death 100%. If not death, his balls are completely gone. Sorry, Eugene, you can no longer have children. In fact, why is he talking so normal? He should be sounding like this.
I feel maybe this whole time we've just been misunderstanding one another, and we're really just... Yeah, you're right, we should go.
Maximus rides off to Rapunzel's tower, and Eugene climbs up her hair, only to see her tied up, and Mother Gothel stabs him with her dagger. Rapunzel refuses to go, but makes a promise. If Gothel lets her heal Eugene, she will willingly go with her, and the two will live happily. Gothel accepts, shackling Eugene in place so he can't follow them. How is he supposed to get out after that? The wound is clearly fatal, and Rapunzel starts to sing, but Eugene uses a mirror shard to slice off her hair, leading to Mother Gothel rapidly aging and Pascal having her trip out the window and fall to her death. Aw, the cute animal sidekick murdered someone. Also, Eugene, why the heck didn't you do this after you were healed? What the hell? Eugene manages to tell Rapunzel that she was his new dream before f***ing dying. Yeah, that's an actual death. Rapunzel sings for a moment, and one of her tears begins to glow. This light show happens, and Eugene wakes up, healed from the wound.
Did I ever tell you I've got a thing for brunettes?
They kiss, and, can I ask, didn't Gothel have the key to his shackle? He's still cuffed. What's your plan? The king and queen come out to see their daughter, and believe it's her instantly. She doesn't even have the same hair color. Anyway, the story begins to wrap up. The thugs have their dreams come true, and Rapunzel is labeled as a wonderful princess. She kisses Eugene, and he says that they would eventually get married and live happily ever after. Well, that didn't follow the original story very well. That's not a bad thing, though, I promise you. I guess we should put this movie in its place, so let's jump right into... Category 1, Best Princess. Now, Rapunzel is a bit interesting to me compared to other strong heroes before her. When making her character, it's clear that she wasn't supposed to be a strong, independent woman. That's sort of the bar we hold to most princesses nowadays. Women who can fight and take care of themselves. While many can forgive this for earlier princesses since it wasn't the standard to expect that back then, Rapunzel feels much different. I mean, her weapon is a frying pan, but I don't really think that's a bad thing. She's not trying to be anything new. In my opinion, she's the perfect classic princess. Still a damsel, but strong-willed, kind, and a victim who actually gets to stand up to her captor. While she clearly has more personality than Pocahontas, the native princess was able to stop a war, so that's an extra point. I'd say Rapunzel is nearly tied with Belle, but I'll put her slightly above Belle just because she was able to make the audience laugh a few times. Lettuce will go at number 4. Category 2, Best Love Interest. Putting aside how ridiculously handsome they made this glorious hunk of a man, I really like Eugene. He sort of seems like a combo between Aladdin and Prince Naveen, being self-centered, but still a thief who wants more out of life. He's also funny, completely indestructible, unless with a knife, and very sweet to Rapunzel once they connect. He seems a bit more likely to change his ways than Naveen, mostly because Eugene wasn't living in the lap of freaking luxury. I like his backstory and the natural way he talks with Rapunzel. While Aladdin is more sympathetic due to his kind heart the whole way through, Eugene is a great love interest. He'll be at number 2. Category 3, Best Side Characters. We'll go backwards. The soldiers are pretty much blank slates except for the captain. He's alright. The thugs are pretty funny, although kinda pointless. Pascal is cute as hell and is a nice animal friendo for Rapunzel. Finally, Maximus is great. Despite him changing his view of Eugene a bit too quickly, I love him. He's so funny. All in all, these side characters are mostly just okay. Not great, not bad, but okay. Taking them out of the story would have given us more Eugene and Rapunzel moments, and I honestly would have preferred that. Maximus and the thugs are funnier than anyone in Little Mermaid, but how dare they try to challenge the 7 dwarves? Number 6 for them. Category 4, Best Villain. The Stabbington Brothers are honestly pretty great. I like how one never talks, it keeps them simple enough. Is it bad that I like them more than the snuggly duckling thugs? I hope not. But you're not here for them, you're here for Mother Gothel. And honestly, I can't put my finger on why I'm not the biggest fan of her. Don't get me wrong, she's a good villain, being very smart, manipulative, and able to take out other villains by tricking them. After letting it sit for a while, I figured it out. She's not very intimidating, most of the time. Well, I'll talk about it a bit more later. Her villain song is played more for laughs than to be scary. Despite being similar to the current gold medal villain, Lady Tremaine, Gothel doesn't strike fear in the audience, unlike the stepmother. Adding humor is okay for a villain, but combining humor with a villain like her doesn't work. Making her more like the stepmother but having almost a creepy, cheery side would have worked much better. Okay, enough criticism. Let's finish with the good stuff. When she gets her dagger, she can actually be pretty scary. The way she yells at Rapunzel for wanting to see the lights and then says this.
Oh, great. Now I'm the bad guy.
That just shows off her manipulative gaslighting ways. She's not an awful villain, but not scary enough and not even really funny enough. She's just a small mix of both that doesn't really work. So she'll sit at number 6. Category 5, Best Princess Song. As I said in my Sleeping Beauty review, I consider songs for my ranking that actually have the on-screen characters sing them. So I See the Light counts because right here they start singing out loud, so suck on that. The other two Rapunzel songs are alright, but this one is beautiful and is a nice and sweet love song. And hearing Eugene sing is just so wonderful. I love the lanterns in the background, the wonderful reflections and sweet melody. For visual's sake, it'll go above Mulan's Reflection, but it will go below Almost There because I really love the catchy tune of that one as well as the message. Number 4 for I See the Light. Category 6, Best Villain Song. I said how I didn't really like the comedic Mother Knows Best. In fact, that was my main complaint about Gaston's song as well. I don't really care for funny villain songs. However, the reprise of Gothel's number is what I'll be ranking today. This ditty is much more intense, scarier, and more of what I wish Gothel had been. I also like the touch of how much Gothel ages from the start of the song to the end. It also comes at a good time since Eugene has only just begun his character arc, and Rapunzel and the audience are both unsure what he would do with his satchel at this point. It's sad how much this song is overlooked, miles above the first one in every way. To rank it, it's better than Gaston, but the visuals aren't as good as Friends on the other side. Number 4 for this. Category 7, Best Side Character Song. When did I grow up? Clearly I must have, because this song annoys me a little more each time I hear it. It's not bad, I promise, but it's just so out of place here. A song like this would be much better suited for a parody movie. This fantasy isn't even trying to challenge tropes or make fun of them, so it's strange that a song like this would go here. It sort of feels like this was a leftover from the movie Enchanted, where a princess gets pulled into the real world and gets the locals to join in a musical number while the love interest watches in confusion. If it had lyrics, I would 100% rather choose the song that plays when Rapunzel and Eugene are at the kingdom. Mostly for having that lovely German flair that I'm weak for. I mentioned that my favorite song in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is the Silly Song, purely for the German atmosphere and happy feelings that came with it. That's why I like this one. It furthers the romance, feels magical after Rapunzel's been isolated all her life. Why did I make the rules the way I did? Alright, enough complaining. I've Got a Dream is nice, catchy, but so out of place. Sorry guys, this will have to go at number 8. Category 8, Best Believable Romance. Yes, 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 this is what I want. Yes, thank you, Disney! The chemistry these two share is so nice and I love it. I can appreciate that they even toy with the concept of lusting versus loving, since it's clear they both find each other attractive upon first meeting, and then they learn about each other and eventually fall in love naturally. I can believe Eugene's ability to change for her, as well as the believable way they talk and interact. Honestly, Eugene's real death was much more impactful than any other fake-out or temporary death before. I felt those tears Rapunzel gave, even way back in 2010, being a 9-year-old in the movie theater. There's no lies told by either party, unlike Aladdin, so this will go at number 1. Category 9, Best Animation. Back in my video where I announced this series, I said this. And I know there's a debate about 2D versus 3D animation, but which one has a better scope? Which animation brought me into the world better? That's what I want. Yeah, well, Past Snow was an idiot. You can't compare 2D and 3D animation. They are different mediums. That's like comparing painting and sculpting. One can't be better than the other just based on that fact alone. So Tangled will be a number 1 in its own separate list for 3D films. Category 10, Best Movie. In the several months that it took me to make this review, this ranking bounced all over the place. Looking at all its pieces, I think I've finally found where it belongs. This movie is very good, one of Disney's best. It's in my top 10 favorite Disney movies, not including Pixar, and it was one of my favorites as a kid. It's funny, has a wonderful romance, beautiful visuals, and more. One thing that I think makes this movie better than most is what it stands for. As much as I like the early concept, this fantasy takes itself seriously as a Disney classic. Most of the time. It's the best execution of the olden Disney fairy tale that the company became famous for. The first 3 princess stories go very well with this film, with Tangled feeling like a slightly more modern version of the 3. Because of that, I'll put it above Mulan, but the elegance of Beauty and the Beast will keep Tangled from getting silver. I hope it's okay with the bronze medal. For now. Thanks for coming to the review. For this outro, I think live-action Snow will have to handle this. She has some splaining to do. I have no excuses. So why did this take so long to get out? That's because I'm lazy. Literally the audio for the summary, the synopsis of the movie, and the live action shots of me fawning over Flynn or Eugene or whatever his name is, they were recorded back in November. The ranking audio was recorded just like yesterday. So I don't I'm trying, okay? I'm in college, I'm doing a bunch of work, I'm sorry. But basically, the reason why I got back into this was because that new Disney movie just came out, Raya and the Last Dragon. I'm gonna go see it next week. She's basically nearly been confirmed that she's gonna be the next Disney princess, so I gotta review the other ones, and then I can review that one. I won't be able to actually review it until it's available for free on Disney Plus in June, so sorry. But yeah, next month we have Brave, the first Pixar movie, the only Pixar princess, and the movie that's generally hated among most people. And I've got a differing opinion on it. I don't hate it. See you next month.